An accounting interview. In a job interview for an accounting position at a company, the CEO asked a beautiful girl wearing a short dress. "I asked you the first 2 questions, and you couldn't answer. Now, this is your last chance. If you answer, I'll hire you. If not, I'll have to let you go. If I write the number 1 on both your left and right thighs, what would it be?" The girl replied confidently, "It would be 11, sir." You're foolish. If you can't even understand numbers, how can you do accounting? The correct answer is 101. The girl, feeling embarrassed, before leaving the room, asked the CEO, "You're right, that's 101, but I'm not foolish. If the number 1 were written on both your thighs, what would that be?" The CEO chuckled and replied, "And you're asking me that? Of course, it's 111. The girl laughed, "No, it's not 111 but 11. Turns out, you're no better than me." Discussing the use of the car. A young boy had just gotten his driving permit. He asked his father, who was a minister, if they could discuss the use of the car. His father took him to his study and said to him, "I'll make a deal with you. You bring your grades up, study your Bible a little and get a haircut and we'll talk about it." After about a month the boy came back and again asked his father if they could discuss use of the car. "Son, I've been really proud of you. You have brought your grades up, you've studied your Bible diligently, but you didn't get your haircut." The young man replied, "You know, Dad, I've been thinking about that. You know, Samson had long hair, Moses had long hair, Noah had long hair, and even Jesus had long hair." To which his father replied, "Yes, and they walked everywhere they went." Buying a TV. One day a blonde walked into a second-hand store and asked the clerk, "How much is that TV in the window?" The man said, "I'm sorry. I don't sell stuff to blondes." So she walked out. The next day she came in as a redhead. She asked how much the TV was in the window again. And again he said he didn't sell things to blondes. The next day she came in again and asked for the 3rd time how much the TV was. The man said, "For the final time, I don't sell stuff to blondes." She said, "How did you know I was a blonde?" He said, "That's not a TV. It's a microwave." His is my home. The policeman had stopped the man for obvious drunken driving, but since the guy had a clean record, he made him park the car and took him home in the patrol car. "Are you sure this is your house?" the cop asked as they drove into a rather fashionable neighborhood. "Certainly," said the drunk, "and if you'll just open the door for me, I can prove it to you." Entering the living room, he said, "You see that piano? That's mine. You see that giant television set? That's mine too. Now follow me." The police officer followed the man as he shakily negotiated the stairs to the 2nd floor. The drunk pushed open the first door they came to. "This is my bedroom," he announced. "See the bed there? That's mine. See that woman lying in the bed? That's my wife, and see that guy lying next to her? That's. Stone and stone breaker. A very strict officer was talking to some new soldiers, whom he had to train. He had never seen them before. So he began, My name is Stone, and I'm even harder than stone, so do what I tell you or there'll be trouble. Don't try any tricks with me, and then we'll get on well together." Then he went to each soldier one after the other and asked him his name. "Speak loudly so that everyone can hear you clearly," he said, "and don't forget to call me Sir." Each soldier told him his name, until he came to the last one. This man remained the last one. This man remained silent, and so Captain Stone shouted at him, "When I ask you a question, answer it. I'll ask you again, what's your name, soldier?" The soldier was very unhappy, but at last he replied, "My name's Stonebreaker, sir." Who is stupid? A new teacher wanted to put her psychology knowledge into practice. She began her class by saying, "Anyone who believes they're foolish, please stand up." After a brief pause, little Johnny got to his feet. Surprised, the teacher asked, "Do you really think you're foolish, little Johnny?" Johnny replied, "No, ma'am, but I couldn't bear to see you standing all alone." In heaven. At the gates of heaven, St. Peter was standing guard when he noticed a man grinning broadly, hesitating to step inside. St. Peter asked, "Hey, why don't you come in? You're here already, why are you smiling mischievously?" The man chuckled, "Hee, I've been up here for nearly an hour, and those doctors down there are still diligently operating on me." Out all night drinking. An Irishman has been at a pub all night drinking. The bartender finally says that the bar is closed. So he stands up to leave and falls flat on his face. He figures he'll crawl outside and get some fresh air and maybe that will sober him up. Once outside he stands up and falls flat on his face. So he crawls home and at the door stands up and falls flat on his face. He crawls through the door and up the stairs. When he reaches his bed he tries one more time to stand up. This time he falls right into bed and is sound asleep. He awakens the next morning. His wife stands over him shouting at him, "So, you've been out drinking again." "How did you know?" he asks. "The pub called, you left your wheelchair there again." Same cow. The couple went to the fair to buy a breeding cow. They found one, with a sign attached to its beard, "This cow has bred 50 times in the past year." The deep wife said to her husband, "You need to learn from this cow." Moving on to the second cow, the sign read, "This cow has bred 65 times in the past year." The wife returns, "More than 5 times per month." Truly this is a mirror for you. Walking to the third cow, the wife gasped in surprise, 365 times a year. That means once a day. Let's learn from this cow. Unable to bear it, the man made a noise, asked the cow, "Did it do it 365 times with the same cow?" New secretary. A beautiful female secretary took a job at a large company and was courted by many guys. After a while, the company's two most famous Don Juans began to have their first achievements and confided in each other. The first guy said, "I went on a date with Julie last Tuesday. We even did that. She's much sexier than my wife." The second guy replied, "Yes, I also went on a date with the girl yesterday. We did the same, but I still think your wife is better. Thank you for your listening.